Top-ranked golfer Scottie Scheffler is back on the course after his arrest this morning. Police say he tried to drive around traffic caused by a fatal accident and failed to comply with police outside of the course where the PGA Championship is being held. Scheffler resumed play for the second round of the event. For more on the situation, I want to bring in Ann Liguori. She is the host of Talking Golf on WFAN in New York City. Thank you so much for being with us. So walk us through what we know happened here and the severity of the charges that Scheffler is facing.
Sure. Well, at 5 a.m. this morning, a man was hit by a shuttle heading into Valhalla Golf Club where the PGA Championship is taking place, and the man died at the scene. About an hour later, Scottie Scheffler, the top-ranked golfer in the world, was driving into the players' entrance at the club in a clearly marked courtesy car that the players drive at these tournaments. And a misunderstanding ensued, as Scottie later described in a statement that he released. But he was handcuffed against the vehicle and booked by Officer Brian Gillis. And you saw the charges there. They're serious charges. And he was released and made his tee time, which was delayed anyway because of rain. But this morning, he released a statement, and he said, "I was proceeding as directed by police officers. It was a very chaotic situation, understandably so, considering the traffic accident that had occurred earlier. And there was a big misunderstanding of what I thought I was being asked to do. I never intended to disregard any of the instructions. I'm hopeful to put this to the side and focus on golf today." And he continued to say, of course, all of us involved in the tournament express our deepest sympathies to the family of the man who passed away in the earlier accident this morning. It truly puts everything in perspective, end of quote.
And I wonder about the PGA. How has the PGA responded to the situation?
Well, they issued a statement, obviously expressing sympathy to the man who was killed in this accident an hour before Scottie even got to the golf course. And Scottie was able to make his tee time. They didn't, postpone the tee time on his behalf or anything. So they expressed their sympathy about the tragedy that occurred, and play continues. Scottie went out there and he birdied the first hole, which he started on the 10th hole. He bogeyed the second hole and birdied the 12th. So right now he's 5 under, 4 shots back behind the leader, and he continues to play. He's a very focused individual. I'm sure this must have shaken him tremendously. He's a man of faith. He has expressed many times in press conferences, he talks about his faith. He's just a lovely, lovely person. His wife, Meredith, gave birth to a baby boy just less than a week ago, and it's just such an unfortunate accident that happened, and just bizarre circumstances. But he's out there playing right now, so we'll see what happens.
And for viewers who do not follow golf closely, how big of a star is Scheffler in the sport?
Well, he's the top-ranked player in the world. He's a huge star. He's won 4 of his last 5 tournaments. He's the reigning Masters champion. He's, again, people know who he is. He's a very quiet guy. He doesn't seek publicity. He pretty much focuses on golf and pretty private, and keeps his head down, and really he's such a great player. All the other players just, are just they're amazed at what he's been doing. He leads in every statistical category practically that you can lead in men's golf. And again, he's just a lovely person and a man of faith. And this is just a very unfortunate situation that's occurred this morning. Very bizarre.
All right, Ann Liguori. Ann, thank you so much.
Thank you.